Week 18 of the NFL season is officially here, and guys, we are almost done. So in today's video, I want to give you guys my predictions to every single game of week number 18. Salute to all the teams that did not make the playoffs. Let's get into it. And we are going to begin with the Carolina Panthers going up against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So this game very well could decide who ends up winning the division. However, there is a bit of a caveat that, and correct me if I'm wrong here, I don't know the exact details of how this thing plays out, but I believe if Atlanta were to win their game, then even if Tampa Bay were to win, it wouldn't matter. So if you're a Carolina fan, obviously you want to just win and get in and not have to worry about it. But even if you lose, you need to put on an Atlanta Falcons jersey for about maybe 2 or 3 hours. And if they win, you make yourself a potential playoff team. What a crazy year for the Carolina Panthers. It's been a complete roller coaster of a season. And now we're in a position now where they are one game away from making the playoffs and winning the division, a division that has been horrendous for most of the season, but you win the division regardless. Now, we've already seen this matchup a few weeks ago, and obviously the Carolina Panthers took care of business in that game. And you look at how their season has gone so far this year, one thing you'll notice about the Carolina Panthers is that they'll win a game, then they'll lose a game. Then they'll win, then they'll lose. Then they'll win, then they'll lose. They win, they lose, they win, they lose. Well, if the trend were to continue, then this should be a win. I'm not the person that likes to talk about patterns and things of that nature. I do personally believe that Carolina is probably the better football team at this stage. Tampa Bay has completely fallen off a cliff. Baker Mayfield's not been playing good. They got the weapons. They got some pieces that are excellent, but they're just not playing clean football right now on either side of the field. I'm going to take the Carolina Panthers to win this game. I just think they're playing a bit more clean football right now. Sure, they're inconsistent as hell, but when they show up, when they have an advantage, they can take care of business and they can run the football well. They have some reliable weapons with Tetsuo McMillan and unfortunately no Jatavion Sanders, but we'll see kind of who takes up his mantle. And the defense can slow things down for Tampa Bay. So could Tampa Bay go out there and win it? Sure. I'm going to take the Carolina Panthers to win this one. I think we get a close back and forth game that ends up going to the fourth quarter, but give me the Carolina Panthers to win a close game. Give me 24-17 in favor of Carolina. Next up, we have the Seattle Seahawks going up against the San Francisco 49ers. This is a massive game because, correct me if I'm wrong here, but the winner of this game will end up being the #1 seed in the NFL. I don't think Chicago can get there. I do believe it comes down to either San Francisco or Seattle. Seattle is currently a game ahead of San Francisco, but if they were to lose that game, they would have the same record. I think San Francisco would have the tiebreaker. It's a little bit confusing, but yeah, this is a very important game for both these teams. Going, if you're a Seattle fan, having home field advantage, playing in front of the 12-man in that rowdy crowd is a huge advantage for every single playoff game. Whereas for San Francisco, it's also a huge advantage as well. Playing at your own stadium, having a week to get fully healthy, that would be awesome for San Francisco. San Francisco's offense has been fantastic the past few weeks. That offense is on fire. Brock Purdy's playing his best football. They're hopefully going to get George Kittle back 100%. McCaffrey maybe should be in MVP conversations. And while their defense has been up and down because of the injuries they have, they can and have shown the ability to be able to compete out there because they're so well coached and they have enough pieces out there to get the task done. So for the 49ers, this is a really important game. And for Seattle, it's a really important game too. It's a tough one to predict because on one hand, we've seen Seattle's offense be explosive, have multiple big-time games. We've also seen them kind of be a bit slow, sluggish at times, and all that stuff. But I do believe Seattle's offense will play well in this game because San Francisco's defense is just very banged up, and I think Seattle could find a ton of success. But on the flip side, with San Francisco's offense being as on fire as they've been these past few weeks, I could see them having some success against a really, really good Seahawks defense. For me, this one comes down to which team I think is a bit more balanced, and that is the Seattle Seahawks. I am going to predict Seattle to win this game. I think offensively, they will not be slowing down a ton in this one. And I think defensively, they can slow down the Niners enough to ultimately come out with a win here. I think this is a back and forth game that goes deep into the fourth quarter, a very high scoring, more offensive driven game where maybe it might just come down to turnovers, sacks, some special teams things. And I'm going to go ahead and bank on what Seattle has on that defense and with Mike McDonald. So give me Seattle to win this game and be 14-3 on the season. What a year for Seattle, whether they win or lose this game. But give me the Seattle Seahawks to win this one. I think it's a back and forth close game. Give me 34-31 in favor of Seattle. Next up, we have the Indianapolis Colts going up against the Houston Texans. So this game doesn't really have a ton of implications. The only implications here for this game is the seeding for the Houston Texans. If the Texans were to win this game, I believe they would secure up the fifth seed in the playoffs. And going up against the Indianapolis Colts, who are going to be playing Riley Leonard. Obviously, the poor Colts lost 6 in a row, probably going to be 7 in a row. Just a devastating end to their season. A season that was once very promising, just completely fell down the tube because of injuries and, some disappointing games a little bit in the middle of the season. Very bummer year if you're a Colts fan, because it was so promising. It was looking so good, and then it all went away really quickly. The Houston Texans have a lot more to play for in this one. They're going to be the more healthy team. Their offense is on a roll. Their defense is rolling too. I don't see the Colts really standing a chance in this one. Maybe they could just, play for pride, play for their coach, and maybe that gets them to a victory. But realistically speaking, I don't think their defense will slow down CJ Stroud. I don't think their offense will be able to score on that Texans defense. The Texans are going to win this game. Give me the Houston Texans. I'm going to take 28-13 in favor of Houston. Next up, we have the Cleveland Browns going up against the Cincinnati Bengals. So I do believe that Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, and the whole crew will play in this game. Not that the game has any implications or anything like that. At this point, both these teams would probably prefer to lose for general draft pick selections. Assuming everyone does start, I'm going to pick the Bengals to win this game. By the way, I think Myles Garrett does get that sack this week. I hope he does get the sack, even if it's like the last play of the game. Let's get Myles Garrett the record. He has deserved it. He should be the defensive player of the year. He's been incredible this season. Cleveland's had a very disappointing season. I don't think a lot of us had high expectations, but for anyone who did, this was a disappointing year. Shedeur Sanders has looked promising the past few weeks. He has to clean up a lot of stuff in his game right now, but I think he's done enough to where I think he might be the starting quarterback for this team heading into next year. And with the way the roster is currently constructed, if they can really put all their resources towards that offense, I think they could be a decent football team next year if Shedeur can really get more comfortable, get more reps under his belt. But when it comes into this game, give me the Cincinnati Bengals to win it. I think their offense makes enough plays. The Browns defense has been up and down this year, especially towards the later half of the season. And this Cleveland offense, I think, will have success in this game. They might also have a turnover or two that allows the Cincinnati Bengals to take advantage, score more points. Give me the Bengals to win this game. I think it'll be a relatively higher scoring game. I'm going to say 30-20 in favor of the Bengals. Next up, we have the Atlanta Falcons going up against the New Orleans Saints. The New Orleans Saints are a team that are on absolute fire as of lately. They've been playing some of their best football of the season. Tyler Shock is looking very promising. He's making a ton of plays out there. Chris Olave's been on fire. The defense has been playing a little bit better. And on the flip side for Atlanta, they're also starting to play some of their best football of the season. Kirk Cousins is actually playing some really good football. And I think an off-season conversation we might have, is there a team that, re-invites the Kirk Cousins trade conversations? Because Kirk is playing pretty well right now. And I think there could be some teams out there that might say, we have the infrastructure to survive a limited mobile quarterback in Kirk Cousins, and we might just be a quarterback away from being a playoff contender. I can't think of a team off the top of my head, but maybe the Colts would consider it. Maybe the Pittsburgh Steelers, something like that. I wouldn't be shocked if Kirk Cousins gets brought up in some trade rumors this offseason because he's starting to play pretty well. Bijan's been great. Drake London's getting back. Kyle Pitts has been really good this year, especially with Kirk Cousins. The defense can make some plays. This is going to be a fun, competitive game that, assuming everyone is 100% healthy and playing in this game, because as of right now, it sounds like everyone's a go. But in that case, I'm going to pick the Saints to win this one. I just feel like Tyler Shock is playing some really good ball right now. I think in a game versus Atlanta, versus a divisional competitor where we've seen the Saints have a ton of success this year, I'm going to take the Saints to win this one. Give me the Tyler Shock-led New Orleans Saints to finish the season off on a bit of a win streak. I got the Saints winning this game. Let's go with 23-18 in favor of the Saints. Next up, we got the Green Bay Packers going up against the Minnesota Vikings. So it's been a very disappointing end to the season for the Green Bay Packers. They ended up going on a 3-game losing streak. They had all these injuries on their roster. It just did not go the way they wanted it to go. The good news for Packers fans is that you're going to be able to secure a wild card spot. And heading into the postseason, if everything plays out as it is, you're going to be the 7th seed, and you're going to be going up against the Chicago Bears team that you've already beat once this year. And if it wasn't for a second half comeback by Chicago, you would have beat them twice. So if you're the Green Bay Packers, you're actually probably wanting Chicago to be the number 2 seed, because if you're a Packers fan, I think you feel more confident beating the Chicago Bears more so than like a Philadelphia or somebody like that. So if you're Green Bay, it's not all doom and gloom. You still have a lot of things going your way. In this specific game, though, it does sound like the Green Bay Packers are going to shut down a lot of their players and just kind of, deal with the fact they're going to be a 9-8 football team in the 7th seed in the postseason. Whereas on the flip side, the Minnesota Vikings, it sounds like are going to get JJ McCarthy back. And with the way that defense is ending off the season, with the way the offense is starting to figure some things out, with the special teams being as good as it is, and with the Packers signing, I think, Desmond Ridder to their team, who knows who starts at quarterback for them, I'm going to take the Minnesota Vikings. That Packers defense has been really bad to end the season off. No Micah Parsons. They just signed Trayvon Diggs. And as a Cowboys fan, I wish him the best, but we'll see how that all plays out. He's not going to play him this one, obviously. Go ahead and give me the Minnesota Vikings in this game. I just feel like they're playing better football, and they have more of their guys actually playing in this game. So give me Minnesota to win this game here over the Green Bay Packers. I think we get sort of a lower scoring game that maybe gets into the late third as a close game, but I think Minnesota pulls away in the fourth. Give me the Minnesota Vikings to win a game. Let's go 21-14 in favor of the Minnesota Vikings. Next up, the Tennessee Titans are going up against the Jacksonville Jaguars. So the Jacksonville Jaguars enter this game as the number 3 seed. I don't know exactly if they have any chance of being the number 1 seed. I think they would probably need both New England and Denver to lose. Then I think they have a chance, but I don't know exactly, again, how that all is going to break down. In that case, though, obviously the Jaguars are going to continue to fight the rest of the season. Tennessee's been playing some really good football. They're not a great football team, but they have been better to end the season off. So if you're a Jaguars fan, keep an eye out for Tennessee. They can play a little bit. That offense is getting going a little bit. Cam Ward's been playing some good ball. They're not a good football team, though. They have a lot of defensive issues and offensive issues, but with the quarterback, Cam Ward, they can make it a bit more competitive. For the Jacksonville Jaguars, though, they're playing some of their best football heading into the postseason. The last thing you want to do is stunt your momentum. Keep the momentum going. Keep the offense in a flow. Jacoby Myers makes some plays. Trevor, just keep the ball clean. Run the football well. Defensively, get some stops. I think the Jaguars win this game. I think they build more momentum as they are appearing to hopefully try and make a deep playoff run. So give me Jacksonville to continue on with the momentum of this season. I'm going to take Jacksonville to win this game. I'm going to say, let's go with 31-20 in favor of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Next up, we got the Dallas Cowboys going up against the New York Giants. So it does appear that Dallas will be playing their starters. Now, I don't know if they're going to be playing Dak and CD and Pickens the entire game. So I'm going to make this prediction assuming they do play the entire game. But I do want to throw the caveat that there's a really good chance they pull their starters at some point to just sort of say, let's just get to next year. Because that should be the priority for Dallas. They're a team that has a lot of talent. Let's get them to next year after hopefully a decent offseason. If they do play the 100% of this game, Dak Prescott is like an excellent quarterback, especially against the New York Giants, especially against all NFC East opponents. Dak loves to kill the NFC East, and I expect him to do so in this game. Assuming they are here and they play the entire game, I think the Dallas Cowboys win because history has shown that Dak and company have consistently beat the New York Giants. That all said, if the Cowboys were to pull their starters, then that might give a chance for Jackson Dart and that New York Giants team to find a way to win. My biggest hope in this game, just stay healthy on both sides. I think both these teams can be really good next year. Probably not championship contenders, but good as in maybe competing for a playoff spot. And for the Giants, maybe competing to like the 9th or 8th seed in the NFC standing. So we'll have to wait and see. Give me the Dallas Cowboys to win this one, though. I think Dak plays well. I think they can beat up on their secondary. The Cowboys offense will find a ton of success, assuming they are 100% in this one. As for the Giants, I think their offense could also have success, but just not enough for a victory in this one. So give me the Dallas Cowboys to win this one. I'm going to pick the Cowboys to win. Let's go with 27-19 in favor of Dallas. Next up, the Arizona Cardinals are going up against the Los Angeles Rams. I'll keep this one short and sweet. I think the Rams bounce back in this game. They've been kind of teetering the past few weeks. I think they're still a good football team, and I think they still have a great chance with their experience with all the superstars on that team to make a deep playoff run. They got to figure some things out, and this could be a really good game to just get back on track. Start taking care of the football a bit better. Get back to who you are on the offensive side of things. Defensively, get some stops, make some plays, feel a bit more confident heading into the postseason. I don't know if they have a chance of being the number 1 seed. I think that is completely off the table now because obviously either San Francisco or Seattle will win. So disappointing end to the year for the Los Angeles Rams when you really kind of think about everything. You lose the number 1 seed. Your quarterback probably lost the MVP. Those are two pretty big deals that unfortunately they did not finish the season off the right way. I think they will end off off this game in week 18 the right way, though. The Arizona Cardinals are a super one-dimensional passing football team. And with the LA Rams, I think they're going to get some stops. I think they'll get after the quarterback. And they're going to make life hard for Brissett to consistently go down the field and keep up with the Rams. So I got the Rams here winning a bit of a blowout. Give me Los Angeles to win. Let's go with, I'm going to go in the 40s here. I'm going to go 41-22 in favor of the Rams. Next up, Kansas City going up against the Las Vegas Raiders. So it sounds like Geno Smith will not be a go in this one. Obviously, Kansas City coming off a couple bad games these past few weeks onto their third string quarterback. So we got the backup for the Raiders and the backup for the Chiefs. Obviously, the Chiefs are the more talented team, but if the game versus Tennessee is any indicator as to how that team is without Patrick Mahomes, that's a bad football team. So I'm going to go with the Raiders to win. That offense was so bad for Kansas City last week. That defense was so bad versus Tennessee last week that I think the Raiders maybe could do some things here. This is a disgusting game. I'm going to go with the Raiders to win this one to screw up their chance to being the #1 overall pick. Final score, let's go 17-13 in favor of Las Vegas. If I'm Kansas City, I'm doing everything in my power to lose this game. Like, I'm benching everybody. Because if you want to screw Las Vegas potentially out of being the #1 pick, you lose this game, some things go your way, you might just cost the Raiders Fernando Mendoza. So yeah, Kansas City, I think they're going to do a tank job in this one. Next up, we got the Washington Commanders going up against the Philadelphia Eagles. Not a lot to talk about in this one. The Philadelphia Eagles are going to be resting most of their starters because I don't believe they can move up or move down. They're kind of locked in as that #3 seed. Unless Chicago were to lose, then I guess Philadelphia could go in that one. But I don't really feel like Philadelphia really would care either way. But they're resting their guys. Hurts doesn't plan to play. It's going to be their backups. And their backups are actually pretty decent. Philadelphia's a pretty solid roster. But Washington has more continuity with a lot of their backups this season. They've also been banged up a ton this year. So a lot of those guys have played a ton of games and a lot of snaps. I'm going to go with Washington to win this one. They're just playing most of their guys they've played for most of the season, whereas Philadelphia is going to be throwing out their JV squad, you could say. Give me the Washington Commanders to win this one. I think Mariota makes some plays. I think they run the ball well, and I think Philadelphia ultimately just doesn't have the overall talent on the field because of them benching their starters. So let's go Washington to win this game here. I'm going to go with Washington. Let's go 24-13 in favor of Washington. Let's go that way. Next up, we have the Miami Dolphins going up against the New England Patriots. Now, from all indicators, it does appear like the Patriots are going to be playing most of their guys in hope to potentially get the #1 seed. It's going to be difficult because the Broncos have a pretty easy matchup this week, but they're going to give it their best shot. They're going to hope for a bit of an upset there. Miami, playing some decent football, man. They're not a bad football team. They struggled early on in the year, and that put them in a massive hole. But ever since, like, I don't know, weeks 5 to 7, somewhere in that range, they've actually been a decent ball club. Like, they're not a good football team, but they're going to work their way into potentially being a close to 500 team. Quinn Ewers played awesome last week, and this is a much more difficult matchup, but I think he could find some success. Like, he looked pretty solid last week, and I think outside of some bad interceptions here and there, I think he's been really solid most of the season when he's gotten opportunities. So I expect Quinn to make some plays here, but the Patriots are just a different type of breed. They're just a better football team. Drake May's probably your MVP, which is insane to think about. But yeah, I think New England gets the job done here. I think they score a lot of points. Hopefully they can get the starters out after like the 3rd or 4th quarter. So let's go with the Patriots to win this one. I got New England winning. Let's say kind of a closer game. Let's go 27-17 in favor of New England. Next up, let's talk about the Detroit Lions going up against the Chicago Bears. So looking back in the Philadelphia game, I am a little surprised that Philadelphia isn't planning on starting their starters because Chicago's in a tough matchup here. Detroit is looking to win this game. They're going to play all their starters. And if Chicago were to lose, you'd be the #2 seed. So I don't know what Philadelphia is thinking over there. I would start my guys personally. Maybe they feel confident in their #2s. I mean, Tanner McKee's been pretty good when he's been out there. Chicago's going to be in a dogfight here. The Detroit Lions are going to try and look to, I guess, piss off the Chicago Bears by getting a massive win here. If Chicago were to lose and the Philadelphia Eagles were to win somehow, then the Chicago Bears will be facing off versus the Los Angeles Rams in the first round of the postseason, which, I'm sorry, I think the Rams are a much tougher matchup than a Packers team that you've already beaten once. So I don't know. Chicago's got to win this game here. This is a massive game. I do think Detroit's going to give them a run for their money. Their defense is not great for Detroit, but their offense can score points. And we've already seen it once this year where Detroit put the beat down on Chicago. Now, Chicago's a completely different team, and I'm sure Ben Johnson's going to want to get his revenge for that one. But yeah, I mean, Detroit has had the number of Chicago for a few years now, so keep an eye out on this one. I'm going to predict Chicago to win this one, though. Detroit's just not been playing great football on either side lately. I think Detroit gets a couple. I think they throw a few turnovers, put the ball on the ground occasionally, and I think Chicago just gets the task done here. Give me the Chicago Bears in a Ben Johnson revenge game. I think Ben Johnson puts together a master class of a game plan to get the win here. Give me the Chicago Bears. Let's go with 31-28 in favor of the Bears. Next up, we got the Denver Broncos going up against the Los Angeles Chargers. Keep this short and sweet. It does appear like Herbert will be benched for this game, which would check out. I don't think there's really anything to play for at this point. You are the 6th seed. You lose this game, you're going to be the 7th seed. I don't really think it matters too much, to be honest with you, because a lot of the 2, 3, and 4 seeds are going to be quite interesting in the AFC. So if you are the Chargers, obviously you'd like to win this one. You win this game versus Denver, maybe you end up with the number 1 seed, but I think they're probably looking at the landscape of the postseason, and they're probably saying, you know what, let's just make sure we're healthy heading into the postseason, and that's probably their best chance of making a deep playoff run, which I think is probably the wise decision. You put Herbert out there with that offensive line versus that Broncos defense, yeah, that's a recipe for disaster. So probably wise to go ahead and bench Justin Herbert. Denver's going to win. I think they're playing most of their starters because obviously they should. Hopefully for the Denver Broncos, they can get up big and then pull their starters and feel good about being the number 1 seed. But at the same time, you're going to get a bye if you win this game. So if you are Denver, there is really no reason to not play your guys in this one. Hopefully everyone stays healthy. Give me Denver to win this one. I think they put this game away early. Give me the Denver Broncos to win 30. Let's go with 30-10 in favor of Denver. Next up, the Buffalo Bills are going up against the New York Jets. So as of right now, I don't think there's any reports on Josh Allen sitting out in this one because frankly speaking, they could probably win with or without Josh Allen, but they might just want to secure a win here because if the Chargers were to lose this game, then they would move up to either the 6th seed or the 5th seed. If Houston were to lose, they'd be the 5th seed. I'm assuming Houston's going to win because they have a winnable matchup versus the Riley Leonard-led Colts. So if they were to win this game and Los Angeles were to lose, they would end up being the 6th seed, and I believe they'd have a matchup versus Jacksonville, which is not an easy game. Jacksonville's a freaking tough team. But if you stay right now at 7, you're going to be going up against the Patriots. So I don't know. Maybe if you are Buffalo, you might just want to bench your guys to get that Patriots matchup because you've already beaten them once. I don't know, though. I think against the Jets, this Jets team is just bad. They're just a bad football team. Who knows what goes on with the quarterback week from week. It's just so bad right now. Give me Buffalo to win. They could probably win this game with Mitchell Trubisky starting at the quarterback. So give me Buffalo to win. I think they handle business here. I think they get Josh Allen out of the game early to get him some rest. Give me the Buffalo Bills to win. I'm going to say 26-14 in favor of the Bills. And lastly, the Baltimore Ravens are going up against the Pittsburgh Steelers. No, this is it. This is the battle of the AFC North, a division that has been very disappointing to say the least. We had high hopes for Baltimore. They fell off a cliff. We had high hopes for Pittsburgh. They were up and down, to say the least. We had high hopes for Cincinnati. Burrow was out for most of the year. We didn't have any expectations for Cleveland, at least not on my end. But that was 3 teams that we thought had a good chance of making the playoffs, and well, only one of them will make it, and frankly speaking, none of them deserve to make it. This is a bad division where the winner of this division will be a 9, maybe 10-win football team if the Pittsburgh Steelers were to win this one. I think Baltimore's heading into this game with just a little bit more mojo, I guess. The way they played versus the Green Bay Packers was very impressive. And with the optimism about Lamar Jackson returning in this game, I think they hand the ball off over and over and over again to Derrick Henry like they just did versus the Green Bay Packers. I think they're going to try to win with that. And I think they're going to try to use Lamar sparingly, more as a passer, lesser as a runner to keep him healthy for a potential postseason run. Baltimore has been better in the second half of the season, but they've still been quite up and down. This could be a tough game for Baltimore because we've seen them be so volatile, but I think they're going to handle business here. I just don't trust Pittsburgh. Without DK Metcalf, I don't know how that offense scores because they don't have a consistent ground game. They don't have a wide receiver 1. Rodgers is 40 years old and is a statue in the pocket and isn't really seeing the field as well as he used to because he's 40 years old and he doesn't have a good receiving core. And the defense, while decent enough and will hold their own, I don't know if they can slow down Derrick Henry for 4 quarters. So go ahead and give me the Baltimore Ravens to win this game and somehow make the playoffs, even though they do not deserve it. Neither does Carolina. Let's keep that a stack. But I do think the Baltimore Ravens win this game and head to the postseason. Give me Baltimore to win this game. I think it's a lower scoring game that comes down to a game-winning field goal. That'd be pretty freaking epic to end the season off that way. Give me Baltimore to win. Let's go Baltimore 24-21 in favor of Pittsburgh. But guys, this is my final predictions of the regular season. These are my predictions for week 18. Let me know in the comment section below what do you agree with and what do you disagree with. And I want to say a few words before we end the season off here. I appreciate you guys for 15,000 subscribers. We're on the road to 20K. I also hope you guys have an awesome New Year's. I have a lot of awesome stuff planned on this channel, on my podcast, and all my other channels too. So you guys stay tuned for all that awesome stuff. I'm very happy with how things are going. I'm so happy that we had an awesome regular season with so many great and awesome moments. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it as well. But stay tuned during 2026 because we're going to have some awesome content here. And we got the postseason run that's about to begin. Hopefully you guys enjoy. Hit the like and subscribe button. And I love you guys. Peace.